What is up? Good morning, VV Nation. I am Jason, your crypto connoisseur with VectorVest, and I am joined with Patrick today. We're going to be talking about the Coinbase direct listing. I am pretty hype about this because it blends both of my worlds together. But it's Wednesday morning. We got 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes now till open. But Patrick, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be an interesting morning, I think, and I think we're going to see a wild ride right out of the gate with this one.
Yeah, I completely agree. We were talking before we started about the difference in valuation between what we're expecting and what analysts are expecting. A lot of people are saying that is going to be around, 250 a share to start, but we're already seeing what did you say, like 397?
Yeah, right now pre-market it's showing 397.50 is the tick on it, even though the Nasdaq came out with their recommended price of 250 yesterday.
Right, right.
So it's already quite high from where the 250 valuation was already set at yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. But so for those of you who are joining us this morning that may or may not know what Coinbase is, let's go a little bit into what Coinbase is. So Coinbase is a cryptocurrency exchange. You can trade, buy, sell your cryptocurrencies over there. They also have a couple of other things too that I mentioned in a video that I did about them last week. They are actually making it so that people can use crypto for checkout as well. And this is one of the biggest worldwide cryptocurrency exchanges and the first one to go public. And one of the big things is that a lot of people who have been talking about this, speculating about this, have indicated that this is going to be insane for not only the stock sphere, but for the crypto sphere, in that this is going to get eyes on the cryptocurrency space, and it's going to bring the Coinbase name to a lot of people that may or may not have known about this in the first place. Because, when I talk about crypto, a lot of times the biggest question that I have, right, is where do I buy crypto? And I think with Coinbase going public, it's going to be big in people's name. It's going to be that big name, right? People are already calling it the Amazon of cryptocurrency. It's a little early for that moniker, in my opinion, but this is going to show people where to buy cryptocurrency, and I think that it's going to have a big, big impact on the crypto space.
Uh-oh.
What?
I thought you went silent for a second.
Oh, no,
I
no, no.
lost audio. But yeah, I think, this whole thing with, especially the interesting part about this whole IPO or DPO actually is the direct listing compared to the public offering. And how it's not just, the big money institutions being able to front run everything, and that they're going to be putting it directly out to the market. So it gives individual investors the same edge as, the big money out there as well. Um, that was actually extremely interesting when I was looking into this and about their IPO or their DPO release, and how that can actually reduce the cost of the price of the stock, so that way it makes it a little bit more affordable. I mean, at $400 a share right now, that's pretty up there for a release. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see how the price is already at 400 on a DPO, and I'd be kind of nervous to see what it would be if it was an IPO and where that price would be starting off at today.
Right. And so one of the things too, so I see in chat somebody asked why its price would correlate with Bitcoin. Well, a lot of their revenue comes from the obviously the fees and everything like that that they, bring in from trading. And in quarter one of 2021, they eclipsed their earnings of the entirety of 2020 in just one quarter. which is pretty insane in my opinion for a company. Have you seen too many companies, Patrick, that have eclipsed an entire year in just one quarter?
No, not in the most recent future, at least. Um, I think a lot of it has to do with the whole lockdown, people staying at home and needing something to do. So they started trading online and started trading, using these free brokerage accounts. And I think that's helped give people time to really look into this and start doing their research on crypto. And that's why we've seen such an explosive move, starting last year, and then realistically with the $2 trillion stimulus plan, that's made a lot of people skeptical on fiat, and I think that's going to help boost the price of it, or boost the price of crypto at least, over the near future.
Right. And the other thing too is like with people getting into GameStop, right? They got into Robinhood, and you can also trade some cryptocurrencies on, I believe, Webull and Robinhood too. So people who may have FOMOed into the GME hype also most likely started getting into crypto as well because, well, the demographics kind of overlap a little bit there. But one of the big things that you have to kind of look at too is that Coinbase is going to be, exchanging, an exchange and servicing a $2.22 trillion market, which is actually crazy because it was under 2 trillion just a couple of days ago. As somebody who watches it very, very regularly, it's already up 3.18%. And Bitcoin itself is already up to 64.5 K, and that's crazy. It has gone up exponentially, and I wonder if people are buying it up expecting the new eyeballs coming into the space to also buy into that and explode the market.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things though with Robinhood, it was a place that a lot of people started getting into at the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was locking down and people couldn't go anywhere. But Robinhood doesn't actually, when you buy through Robinhood on crypto, you don't actually own any version of the actual crypto. You basically own an IOU. And that's why, when I see Coinbase and seeing that they have their own direct exchange that they do all their transactions through, this makes it way better, in my opinion, for trading crypto than Webull or Robinhood or any of those other ones out there.
Right.
Um,
And that was actually something too when PayPal first announced that they were going to get into the crypto game. A lot of people thought that that was going to be a big, moment for crypto itself, but it's very similar, like you were saying, to Robinhood and Webull in that you can't take your crypto off of PayPal, so you don't technically own it. I think that's the biggest thing with crypto, right? Is that, you want to own your currency, and Coinbase, definitely you can transfer your currency off into a wallet to other exchanges, do whatever that you want with it.
and so let me ask you this before, the market opens up, Jason.
Yep.
You know, Coinbase has been around since 2011.
Hmm.
That's 10 years. They were basically their early infancy stages of the Bitcoin rally that we've seen over the last 10 years.
Yep.
That's a lot of growth that they've seen by holding the currency, and that adds to their balance sheets essentially. Um, for being now around 10 years is a lot. Do you feel, Bitcoin just hitting, what is it, 64,000 a coin? Is it a little late to finally come out to the market? That's one of the things I do worry about is, are they, is the main growth that could have really helped get the most out of their share prices already been baked in? Or do you still see a lot of growth over the next few years in crypto as well?
So I do think that there is still a ton of room to grow the crypto space. And I think that one of the reasons why it took them so long in order to go public is that, well, one, regulations, there's still a lot of uncertainty in the regulatory space right now when it comes to crypto. As a matter of fact, like currently there's an SEC lawsuit going on with Ripple Labs to really kind of hammer out the regulatory framework of the crypto space. And I think having Gary Gensler and in as the SEC chairman yesterday is going to be really good. Heister Pierce is phenomenal when it comes to crypto as well. And I think that this is a very well timed listing. I think that if they would have gone live 2 years ago, I think that it would not have had as much hype as it does right now. Because over the last 10 years, crypto has been kind of a footnote, right? It's only used fake internet money, only used by, weird people on the internet to do whatever, right? And I think that now that cryptocurrency is seeing the mainstream, right? You have your micro strategies, you have your Elon Musk's tweeting about it. I mean, I've seen all kinds of people, a lot of people, like just big influencers jumping into the crypto space. And I think that this is good to get ahead of the other exchanges, right? Because it's only a matter of time before your TD Ameritrade, your, other exchanges get into the crypto space. So this is going to position Coinbase ahead of everybody else that is trying to catch up, and I think that that is good. And not only that, but with countries putting out their CBDCs, their central bank digital currencies, China's already piloting the digital yuan, Japan's Singapore, Sweden, and Europe are all working on these digital currencies. I think that the space is going to just explode as more people come into the cryptocurrency space.
So we got about a minute before the market opens. What's your favorite crypto?
My favorite crypto, personally, I'm big in XRP. I like utility, and XRP is poised to have quite a bit of utility. Personally, I buy a lot of utility and use case coins. Personally, I know Bitcoin is way up there, but Bitcoin's store of value. Ethereum was good when it was cheaper because gas fees are too high. But that's my favorite. I am big on XRP, XLM, Cardano, XDC. I hold quite a few. Algorand is really good too. So
Because that's one of the things I noticed with Coinbase. I was going through my Coinbase account last night and I realized I couldn't trade Dogecoin, and that's my personal favorite. And I was
yeah,
a little disappointed in it, man. I was a little disappointed. Not gonna lie about
there
that.
have been a lot of petitions to get Dogecoin onto Coinbase, as a matter of fact. And one of the interesting things with Dogecoin, right, just kind of goes to show, um, the power of Elon Musk, right? Because that man can just tweet about Dogecoin and it just jumps like 2 cents. It's kind of insane. And one of the interesting things with Dogecoin, though, is that there is an upcoming project called Flare Finance that is going to be DeFi banking, which is a very, very interesting project. I've been following it for a while now, and they actually recently just announced that they would be allowing Dogecoin onto their platform. So you'll actually be able to do smart contracts. You'll be able to stake, mine Dogecoin on their DeFi banking platform. So it'll be interesting. But Dogecoin does come with some risks because, well, it has unlimited supply. As long as you keep mining it, there is never a finite amount, right? And I think
Well,
that's, yeah.
so that's the thing is I did a lot of research about it a while ago when I was first getting into it, and that's the misconception about Dogecoin is everybody thinks it has an unlimited supply, and technically yes it does, but there's a finite amount that gets released every single year.
Mhm.
So it has a natural inflation baked into it so it can keep expanding as the coin becomes more useful and as people start catching on to it. So it's not like you can just constantly mine and mine and mine and get more and more and more every single day, because there is a finite amount per year that gets released. I think it's like 5 million or 5 billion, something like that,
Okay.
you know, you get put out every single year. So it's allowing for inflation, which, as it becomes more and more popular, that would actually, I see that being as a good thing, because as people jump into it and as it starts becoming more adaptable, you can then have a exact number to know exactly what the inflation rate will be on that. Where you can't really do that with ones that are finite, because once you hit their max limit, then all of a sudden you can't get any more. The price skyrockets, nobody can afford it, then the price crashes and it adds more volatility to it. So that's why I really like the whole Dogecoin, is because yes, it is technically infinite supply,
Mhm.
but it's a regulated and it's a certain amount coming out every single year. So it is a limited supply on a yearly basis. Overall, it's unlimited, but on a yearly basis, it is limited. So that way it can help grow and expand as it becomes more adopted into the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and that's definitely interesting. I mean, realistically, if anything, Dogecoin definitely has the meme power. So we should be in market open, right? And I don't
So
see
it's
any.
not, it may take about 10 minutes,
Okay.
just because usually what happens when an IPO or a stock gets listed, the NASDAQ goes out and puts, a blind offering for about 10 minutes to see, the bid and the ask, to make sure the people that are going to be selling it, the shareholders on this one, are happy with the orders and see if they're willing to take those orders. Then all of a sudden it typically comes in.
Okay. Okay. No, that's definitely interesting. Good to know. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the first bid is. Like you were saying before, this is a direct listing, so those shareholders have this, and if they want to just set this thing to the absolute moon, they absolutely can.
Yeah. They pretty much hold all control of how much gets released, what price it gets released at, and I mean we could see it just simply not trade for the first half of the session, just because they're not happy with the price that people are willing to offer currently, and then they'll just sit and hold and wait for those offers to keep going up until they meet that economic equilibrium there.
Right, right.
So it's gonna be interesting.
It definitely is. And so, I mean, there's a lot of buzz, like I said, around the Coinbase listing. People are calling this a watershed moment in crypto. And it's like you said, I think there's going to be a ton of volatility in this as things come in, because you are going to have your people who are in the crypto space. Myself personally, I am going to be invested into coin, mostly just because I've used Coinbase and I want to see the crypto space explode. So it will be interesting to see like what that volatility is and how long it takes for the market to kind of settle down. um do you see it being like a very volatile stock long term?
I mean, I don't know about long term, uh, because it's going to really, for long term purposes, you really have to see who's adopting it and how that adoption actually takes place and how that really grows and develops. We're starting to see talks about the adoption of it, but we haven't really seen it become mainstream quite yet. So I think it's going to be a speculation trade at this point, because it's new and because of all the unknowns going forward for the long term aspect of it. Uh, at the same time, though, I think right out of the gate and for the first, maybe week, few months, maybe even, we could definitely see a lot of volatility out of this, especially depending on where that price opens up. Facebook, look at Facebook. When it came out, they had an offering around 35 or 36, I believe.
Hmm.
It dropped all the way down to about $12 a share, and then finally took off to become what it is now.
Imagine buying
So
Facebook at $12 a share.
So that's the thing, is with these kind of IPOs or DPOs or new listings, there's always going to be a lot of volatility around it. And especially, it's really, a lot of it's going to depend on where those starting prices come out.
Yeah.
If it starts out at 400 when everybody was thinking it was going to be 250, yeah, expect to see some drops right out of the gate. And then we may find a base right around 250, hopefully, and
Right.
then take off from there. But we really need to see the trading actually start, and that way we can get an idea from a chart standpoint on entries and exits and where price is going, and get a better idea of, if you're trying to make predictions, technical analysis can be one of the best tools to use for that.
Right.
Uh,
And so I see in chat, Tyson K, thanks for letting us know, but it does look like 1020 is going to be trade, and then 1010 is going to be the quote. So it'll be after the live stream is over, but we can still talk about what we think for the next little bit here, and I will do a video following up tomorrow
I mean,
on
if
this
you've
for
got the
sure.
time, I don't mind sticking around to see the first couple of minutes of
Oh,
trading.
well then,
Or we
yeah,
can
I
get done
guess.
early, actually, so I can get my orders in.
So no, I mean I'm absolutely down to, at first we were just gonna run till 10. But yeah, we should just stick around and wait until the open just to see what it goes to um right at the opening bell. Crypto Signals says that we better stay. So if Crypto Signals says, then I guess we need to stick around. But one of the big things for me here, and I think that this is going to be interesting, and this is going to be something that I'm going to be looking at more from my crypto side of things, is how this impacts the movement of the crypto market. Because like like I mentioned earlier, right, this is going to get a lot more eyes on the ability to buy Bitcoin, to the ability to buy Ethereum, to the ability to buy other things. If Coinbase came out today, said, "Hey, we're doing our DPO," by the way, they come out at like noon and say, "We turned on the Dogecoin switch. You can now buy and trade Dogecoin over here." Um, that would just blow their stuff way up, in my opinion. With all of the Dogecoin Twitter army FOMOing into Coinbase to make an account over there. But it will be definitely interesting to me how this impacts the crypto market as a whole, as well as the crypto adjacent stocks, which is something that I want to cover a bit more here on the channel. Which, so if you guys are new and you're tuning in, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe bell button and hit the notification bell, so you guys can get updated on that, as well as plenty of other stuff. But it will be interesting to see how it impacts like your Riots, your Maras, your Block, your Ledger, ATF, stuff along those lines. And I think that it will be pretty interesting, because a lot of things are going to crypto. I know we were talking about the tokenized stocks earlier as well, and how it's kind of like Robinhood, in that you can buy a fractional. Tesla's the first one, obviously. Tesla's like the first one to the table with a lot of the newer stuff. But it'll be interesting to see if Coinbase, I think that Coinbase not allowing for, or not tokenizing some of their stocks, was a big miss on their part.
Yeah. So by the way, I just confirmed it with my trade account.
Yep.
Open for quote at 10:10 a.m. Eastern time, and open for trade at 10:20 Eastern. So I just confirmed that through my trading account on
Yeah.
the news on that. So that is accurate, the times that they were talking about earlier. And I see somebody commenting, Binance has more coins, including Doge. So it's funny that somebody brought that up, because you and I were actually talking about that a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we were talking about is, it seems with Binance compared to what they're doing, with other brokerages out there, you have some of them that are pretty much doing fractional shares, and that to me is basically like a Robinhood of crypto. And after all the news with Robinhood over the last few months, personally, I'd want to stay away from that kind of thing. You don't actually own those shares. You're basically just getting an IOU in your pocket, and you're not actually owning any actual stock. And something about that, as we've seen with the whole GME fiasco, does not sit well with a lot of people. So I think that's interesting that somebody brought it up, and we were just talking about that right before we got started here today.
Yeah, one of the other things too, which is kind of it rough with Binance, is that you can only use Binance in like certain states. I know that it's limited in certain states, but I think that Coinbase is good everywhere, um, because they actually do have I believe they have a banking license. So they are actually like they have an accredited banking license, which is interesting too, because a lot of exchanges now are getting crypto exchanges are getting all of those. They're working with the SEC to get all of the licenses, all of the regulations that they need, and this will kind of urge a lot more clarity into the regulation around the crypto space. And I know me and you were talking about the potential for the tax implications in the future, and what this means for taxes in the crypto space, because currently it's kind of a mystery on whether you pay taxes on crypto, whether you don't. I know for a while there was some stuff, but um, I think that this is going to be, it'll be interesting to see how the regulation and tax wise goes, right? Because
Yeah.
if it comes out and if things get real big, then it could lead to all of your trades on Coinbase just getting immediately reported to the government at the end of the year, which is gonna be kind of rough, because crypto to crypto is technically a taxable event. Crypto to fiat is a taxable event. You have long-term, short-term capital gains. So if you're just sitting there trying to swing trade Bitcoin all day, then you're going to have a bit of a tangled web of taxes at the end of the year, which I know, myself personally, I was scalp trading Bitcoin for a while off of the volatility, because the volatility is so high. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of laws and everything come around. Like I said earlier, Gary Gensler was uh, confirmed yesterday. Comes from MIT, very big on the crypto space, so very solid pick for the head of the SEC. Heister Pierce put out a crypto um, thing yesterday about giving everybody like 3 years to get into that regulatory space and fall in line with what the regulations are going to be. So there's a lot of movement around making this a more accessible, more public space for investors.
So I thought that happened today at 11:30. I thought he got confirmed today at 11:30.
So that's just the paperwork. It got voted yesterday.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it's just all the paperwork shuffling in today. So
It's a Tony show.
I watched the live stream of it, because it was a big thing for me, just because I want to see um, if he's going to throw out the case against Ripple.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, and he seems like the kind of guy to try to help back the retail trader rather than the institutional trader, which seems to be what we've experienced over the last few years. SEC has really been slacking on their job, if you ask me, especially over the last year, 2 years, and letting a lot get away from them. That they need to start. They need somebody that's really going to take it seriously and really start, um, you know, not only practicing the rules but enforcing the rules as well.
Al Newell, no, if you download your coins from Binance onto your Trezor wallet, you do own them. Your coins, your keys, your coins. That's one of the big things. One of the big issues with Robinhood, Webull, PayPal is that you could not actually move your coins onto your own hard wallet or onto your software wallet. So that is one of the big problems. Now, I don't think that you can, like, so on Binance with the tokenized Tesla stocks, I'm pretty sure you can't transfer those off onto a wallet. I'm not too sure. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. But you, as long as you hold your coins, you are good. Do you know how much the price of the stock will be? So at the moment, we don't know. We will find out at 10:10 what the quote is.
We'll start to see the quotes
Come in.
filling in and the equilibrium starting to be reached at 10:10.
Yeah, so it will be it'll be interesting to see what those quotes are. I'm thinking it's going to start at 400 minimum.
It's definitely going to be interesting. I think we're going to see, especially when the first quotes hit, I think we're going to see a big gap between the bid and the ask. As we get closer to launch at 10:20, I think we'll see that bid and ask kind of narrow down and home in better on an actual price. But I think we're going to see a huge spread on the bid and ask right before, or from starting at 10:10.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people are asking, is it going live? Yeah. So for everybody that's questioning this, if you guys want to get into Coinbase, or if you guys want to trade it, you can use your broker account to trade it. Ticker symbol COIN.
Mhm.
It doesn't actually start getting a pre-quote until 10:10, and then it doesn't actually start live trading until 10:20. So Eastern time, by the way, as well. Whatever time that is for you, just base it off of 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern, and you can figure out based off your time zone what time it works for you.
Yep. Yep. And by the way, if you guys want to follow Coinbase and look out for signals in the future, we will be tracking that in the VectorVest software. So if you guys are interested in doing that, we do have it's what, 99 cent trial, Patrick, down
I
in the
believe so.
description.
Yeah, I
99
believe
cent.
so.
You can also check out plenty of other things as well. Lots of crypto adjacent stocks, which I am building my own personal watch list on at the moment. So it is, yeah. What if the market price
So
is already over 275?
it will most likely be over 275. We were seeing
Mm-hmm.
early quotes coming out at 397.50 before the market opened today. So I have a feeling it will probably open up above that 250 threshold that they were announcing yesterday. Also, Ramon asked the question about the two opening times. So Ramon, just to kind of help explain that a little bit more. When a stock is coming out for first listing, uh, you typically have about a 10-minute period before the first trade occurs where you have retail traders, institutions, whoever offering up bids at a certain price stating they want to pay X amount for the stock. Then you have the sellers, or the people that are going to be putting their stock in, the shareholders from Coinbase, who are the ask, essentially saying, hey, I want this price for the stock. So for the first 10 minutes, you have basically the shareholders and the retail guys having a conversation back and forth using price action to see what their offers or what they want to pay, and then what the shareholders want for their stock. And then they slowly work their way to a middle to come up with that equilibrium price that you'll most likely start seeing around 1020 or so. So hopefully that explains that and gives it, puts it into a simplistic form for everybody to understand.
Yeah, no, definitely solid explanation there. What is our time right now? It is 9:51 a.m. So you have 20 minutes How would you answer what VectorVest offers compared to trade idea with comparable products? Do you want to field that one, Patrick?
How did you answer trade idea? I've personally never heard of trade idea. I've been in this business for 10 years. I've been trading on my own since for almost 30. Never heard of trade idea, to be completely honest. I've heard of a lot of other ones, but not that one.
When will it let me buy coin? You have about 30 minutes. Shorters are ready. It'll be interesting to see if people start to short that one right out of the gate at a high price and then see if they get liquidated.
Well, so for the shorters, though, most likely that is going to come from institutions
Mm,
because to short it, you have to first buy the stock and then you basically loan it out to everybody or out to the general public. Um, so I don't think we're going to see shorters right out of the gate. It's going to be institutions buying it in big blocks, which is going to drive the price up. Then they'll borrow it out to, the retail guys who couldn't get in early enough. Price is going to drop. The retail guy is going to close most likely because of emotion. And then they buy the stock back at a cheaper price. And then they just made money on the upside, the downside, and then they get to ride it for the long term as well. So expect shorters to not be in there right out of the gate. Most likely it's going to be the big institutions that are shorting it. And it's going to happen, at least a few minutes, if not longer, after the initial trades start to come in. Let's see what other questions we have. How long before opening?
I should have
What was
a
that?
I should have a countdown timer.
Yeah. Do you have a timer?
Yeah, hold on one sec. All right,
All
you
right. While
field
you're
some
doing that, I'm
questions?
gonna
Yeah.
go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
Okay. So let's see, is 9:31, 9:53. So we'll do. Okay. We're gonna put up a countdown timer for when it is going to go live in 27 minutes. All right, so let me add this real quick. By the way, if you guys have any crypto questions or anything while Patrick is coming back, feel free to let me know. I will be more than happy to answer
All right.
all of those. Whoops.
All right. I'm back.
All right, welcome
Um.
back.
So I see Alexander asking, what are the benefits of VectorVest over TD Ameritrade? Um, Alexander, TD Ameritrade, I actually use it so I can state firsthand. I use TD Ameritrade as my main trading account. TD Ameritrade is great for placing your trades, getting headlines, the easy stuff. VectorVest does way more than that. VectorVest does the market timing. We've been around for over 30 years, and we've never failed to signal a major market turn, and we'll get you in within about a week or two of the top or official tops and bottoms there. There's no market timing with TD Ameritrade. If you watch the headlines out there, they'll always say there's a bull market somewhere. VectorVest is a lot different in the sense that we base our timing off the overall broad market movement and show general times to get into good stocks when the market is low, when the market is high, when to start taking your profits. We analyze every single stock on two fundamental indicators, proprietary indicators, and one technical indicator. And we combine both of those into simple to read indicators to help you get a good understanding of the stock and actual usable information rather than having to go through scads of data on your own. So that's really what separates VectorVest. And in this industry, you don't last very long if you're not doing something right, if your analysis isn't sound. VectorVest takes a systematic approach to analysis and a systematic approach to investing. And that's why we've been around for so long, is because it's been a proven trading system to help people really develop their plans and develop their trading. And we cater to all styles of investors. So if you're aggressive, if you're prudent, conservative, speculative, whatever it may be, We do, we have the tools to help you find exactly what you need, save yourself a lot of time, and get actual usable information to do that faster than anywhere else out there. Jay is asking, do we give options advice? Jay, we do have some options classes. And with some of our more advanced options classes, we actually do live streams every single week where we talk about trading ideas, trading tips for the week, how to handle those, what your entry is, what your exit is, what your strategy. So yeah, we do have some of those that come with some of our advanced options courses there. But just to be clear, we are not a broker. You do not have to set up an account and place trades with us. We're simply an analytical tool that can help you time the market and get usable information on your stocks, help manage your portfolio. You can test trading ideas. You can do all your charting in here. And if you have certain accounts with like Interactive Brokers, what's the other ones? I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head. Ally Financial, and a few others, you can actually send your trades through VectorVest to those brokerage accounts as well. So hopefully, I know that was a lot, but hopefully that answers your guys' questions on there.
Absolutely. So Leo asked, what do I think about Algorand? I actually think that Algorand is very good. It's not only, it's very solid tech. It's got a lot of good partnerships, and you can just make passive income off of it by staking it in an Exodus wallet. I believe you get, last I checked, it was like 5.7% just for holding it, which is nice if you need to, if you're not planning on selling it at any time. You just sit there and make a nice little bit of passive interest off of that.
So Quincy's asking, how much is VectorVest buying? Quincy, we are not a brokerage. We're not buying any of this. We're all retail traders, just like you guys out there. We're going to be looking at our analysis of it here, but we're not, a hedge fund or a market maker or a broker where we're buying big lots of the stock to sell to people. We're not doing this because, we have a stake in this. We're simply doing it because Jason is really knowledgeable in the crypto space. He was excited about this one, asked me to take a look at it. I really liked what I saw with this, especially the more I dug into it, the more I felt even more confident about Coinbase. And so we wanted to, go live here today to talk about it so you guys can see it and, just have a general discussion with you guys out there about crypto, what your guys' thoughts on it, and see how it starts trading right out of the gate here today.
So I see a question. What's the difference between Coin and Mara/Riot? So Mara is a mining company. Coinbase is an exchange. So Mara is actually a company that has a bunch of mining rigs that you buy into and make profit off of them. So a little bit different. It's still a crypto adjacent stock. You'll hear me use that a lot because it is in the crypto space in terms of mining and stuff like that. What is the timer for? That is when Coin will be going live. So we will see in 10 minutes, we will see the quotes come in, and then we will be going live with it in 20.
All right. Also, we got 610 people in here and only 52 likes. What do we got to do? What do we got to do to see that number get to, let's say, 400 in the next minute or two?
Yeah, let's hit that, smash that like button, guys. I appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do subscribe. So, like I mentioned earlier, I will be covering a lot of crypto adjacent stocks. I will be covering a lot of Coinbase information as it comes out. Patrick is very big on the GME. So if you guys are interested in GME, Patrick's got the information for you.
Yeah, I've got GME up on one screen. I've got the iPad set up to watch Coin. Yeah, I've got I got 3 monitors I use and very actively trade with it. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you think crypto will go down after the Coinbase listing? I do think there will be a little bit of a dip potentially as new people come in, and people tend to will dip some of their money out, probably buy back in after retail get shaken out a little bit. But I think that it may potentially Bitcoin is up quite a bit this morning. Well, not too much. It did dip back down a little bit past 64. So we will see. But one of the curses of Coinbase listings of coins is that typically it pumps real quick and then dumps right afterwards. That's been one of the things with Coinbase is whenever they list a new coin. So we'll see what happens to themselves when they list themselves. Um, yeah. Coinbase is going live in 20 minutes.
Okay, so I see Knees keeps asking about extra off. So Knees, we're not. I mean, I'll address it real quickly just for you. Uh, I still like everything about that I've seen with extra off. Um, I still like the technology. There's a lot of good news coming out about it. You know, that $2 dip took advantage of that personally. Not financial advice by any means. I still like the stock. I'm still holding it. I've been adding more to it with that most recent sell off. And from that bottom, from the $2 lows, it's now up $1.34 in a $2 stock. That's just shy of 70%, 60%, somewhere in that range. So it's still, it's a long-term play. It's not a get rich quick scheme. There's no pump and dump. It's not a shoot to the moon kind of stock. It's not a meme stock. There is a lot of risk involved. It is a speculative play, but I'm still holding mine. So hopefully that addresses the question there. All
So we
right.
do see coin on Robinhood. It's not trading at the moment. It supposedly has a $65 billion market cap, and it is saying 250 is the estimated price. But we will see. We will see. It also says that coin trading may not start until middle of day. So while it is on Robinhood right now, it is not currently doing any trading.
And so that's what I was talking about, the other day, Jason, is with new listings,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they can have hiccups when they get listed. Sometimes, the exchange takes longer to make sure everybody's connected into it. And these are the typical issues that happen with a new listing. Going back to that whole Facebook thing, Facebook was supposed to launch right out of the gate at 9:30. I don't think their first trades really started hitting the market until about 1:30, maybe even later than that. So they didn't really catch a whole lot of trading activity throughout the day. Um, it could very easily happen, but we just got to be patient, and hopefully they have everything together. Hopefully they don't have any hiccups. Hopefully we can get some actual quotes going at 10:10, but we'll keep an eye on it here.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Safe Moon cryptocurrency? I am not a big fan of it. I haven't looked into it a ton, but not the biggest fan. I am a bit of an XRP maxi, uh, full disclosure. How to make money in the NFTs. You know what? We covered NFTs on the last Trending Thursday, a little bit, but I mean, if you are a digital artist or creator of some sort, NFTs right now are hot. I personally think that they are the Beanie Babies of 2021. Take that with what you will. It's not financial advice, but yeah. What are my thoughts on XLM? XLM is 1/3 of XRP. While I think that XLM is really good, um, I think they have two different use cases. How high do you think that XRP can go this summer? 2K end of year. What time is Coinbase going live? We should see some quotes coming in 4 minutes. and then it will go live in about 15. Will XRP be relisted, you think? I don't see why Coinbase is taking so long.
Hey, so Jason, I got a question
Yes.
for you. Are you going to be taking a piece of Coinbase when it comes out?
Yes, absolutely. I have my money poised, so
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this.
yes, it was the
If we can
XRP
hit, we
2K
got
was definitely a
720
joke.
people watching right now. If we hit 600, I say when it first opens, you got to buy at least one share. If we can get 600 likes.
Oh yeah, if we get 600 likes, I will buy
All right,
one share on open 100%.
all right. We got to get 600 likes in the next, let's say 2 minutes. Before the countdown timer hits 13 minutes. Let's see if we can do that. If you guys can get 600 likes in the next 2 minutes, we'll make him buy one share right out of the gate at the open.
Yes, chat.
Let's,
The
let's see if we can get this going.
The XRP 2K was 100% a joke. I'm not too sure on where XRP will go. It really hinges on the SEC lawsuit. That's the real big thing at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with XRP. My two that I follow are Bitcoin, obviously everybody does, and
Yeah.
Dogecoin. But besides that, I don't really mess with the other cryptos yet. I haven't really spent enough time figuring them out, learning about them, and I haven't put a lot of research into them yet.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of stuff that goes into it too, because I mean, there's 8,000 different cryptocurrencies. There are 9,216 cryptocurrencies as of today, and there are not 9,216 use cases. That's for sure. So there are a lot that do have utility and have like good working projects, but there are a lot that just are vaporware for sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I see a lot of people, I guess a lot of people were just tuning in rather than, what we were talking about it this morning about Dogecoin. And I get that, Dogecoin is the meme coin essentially, and it was a joke at the very beginning. And everybody says, laughs it off. But when you actually dive into it, it's quite interesting to really learn about the nuances behind it. It is technically unlimited, but so is our current money supply that we use now. And
You
it's
mean we just
actually a more
continuously
regulated.
print money for any good reason?
What's that?
I said, you mean like how we just continuously print money?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different. But at least
Right.
then the difference between Dogecoin and the US dollar, though, is Dogecoin at least has a fixed amount of how much they're going to print every year, whereas the US doesn't have any regulations, any restrictions. They could print it without telling anybody and just, put it out in the markets as they see fit.
Yep.
And that's the crazy thing about it is, if it does get adapted to become more mainstream, yes, there is unlimited supply theoretically, but it is a fixed amount per year. So you can actually calculate the inflation rate per year on those coins as well. And it allows it to expand over time, slowly expand over time. So it doesn't get out of control. It keeps it all, organized and focused essentially. And that's why I like it. I started off by seeing Elon Musk tweeting about it, did some research into it, and yeah, I get that there's the jokes behind it. It was started as a joke, but the actual technology behind it, the actual usage of it could be extremely powerful if it starts to take off, if we start seeing it become more adopted into the markets. So
Yeah,
I
it'll
know
be
there's a lot of people that don't like it. There's a lot of people that take it as a joke, but at the same time, folks, when you actually research it, you actually look into how it works, the purposes of it, and how the slow release of new coins come out, it's pretty spectacular to say the least.
10 minutes, the price will be decided. Yeah, do you see any quotes coming in at the moment?
Let me see. Not yet with Thinkorswim. Let me make sure I'm refreshing it. Let's go trade. Yeah, no bid or ask coming in so far.
Is it dangerous to buy coin immediately, or is it better to wait? I guess it depends on what you think that it's going to do, right? I mean, it could go way up, but is most likely that it will pump really high on the hype and then potentially level out. So you have yeah, it really depends on what you think it's going to do. I personally think that, I mean, I'm gonna buy one on at least one share on launch and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a preview of it.
Will I be able to buy coin on Weeble? Yes, you should be able to.
All right. Yeah, still not seeing anything coming through with being able to find or any actual bid or ask through TD Ameritrade on coin. Let's see if we can find it somewhere else.
We do see the crypto market at the moment taking a dip for sure. Um, Bitcoin is dipping down. We're seeing a
So I
little bit
found
of
a
a
news article. Coinbase Global indicates $340 a share.
okay.
1 minute ago, just came out.
Okay.
So yeah, that seems to be where it's at right now. I guess they're in the process of talking to buyers and sellers, trying to figure out where where their equilibrium is going to be at. I'm really surprised we don't see the bid and ask currently, but what can you do? All right. So chaotic. That was under the news. If you're in TD Ameritrade, you go under the news section. It's 1 minute ago. That's where I saw that 340. The actual quotes aren't coming through on that. It has to be a buy limit. Oh, interesting. I did not see anything about that. So very interesting. They saying TD Ameritrade is not accepting market orders, and it has to be a buy limit.
Ooh,
But
interesting.
that makes sense though, because you have to have people putting in a limit order to say, hey, how much are you willing to buy or how much are you willing to pay? So that way the sellers on the other side of the trade can look at it and say, I'm willing to sell it for this much. And then you have that bargaining back and forth essentially in a very simplistic example. But you have that bargaining back and forth to finally come down to the that middle ground territory there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see what it starts out with. What's the timer for? The timer is when it should start trading.
All right, so let's see.
Do I recommend Elongate Crypto? I do not particularly, mostly because I don't know anything about Elongate Crypto at the moment. And also, Senpai, that was actually their CTO, David Schwartz. Joel Katz, I follow him. Yeah, his tweet yesterday was raised a lot of eyebrows, but we're definitely seeing a dip here in crypto in general. A lot of things that had been pumping for the last couple of days are definitely dumping down today for sure. So it'll be most likely a red market today. But Dogecoin actually in the number 10 spot based on market cap, 102% over the last. Wow, it's actually up to 12 cents today. Hold
Yeah.
on. Dogecoin flipped Link. That is okay. Unexpected. I did not expect that one this morning, that's for sure.
Meme stocks are in full force, man. All right.
So we should see things start to come through in about 1 second.
Sounds like the UPS man is there. Are you gonna bring the dog on stream, Jason?
I mean, I definitely can. That is yeah. Also, I just realized that the sun is coming through my window, and I have a nice little sun thing on my forehead. That is the problem with having dogs when you're trying to live stream, is that no matter how many things you try to get them to not bark at, they will lose it. Lewis, taxes on crypto. Anytime you trade crypto to crypto or crypto to fiat, it is a taxable event. I would get yourself a tax professional in order to sort all of that out, which it should be pretty easy. Most of the time you can just download a spreadsheet of all of your crypto transactions. 342 on coin.
Let's see. Yeah, 342 right now, 1 minute ago. Anything on the chart? Still nothing showing up on TD Ameritrade under the bid and NASO. Um, 342 on T212 as well. Can't see it on Schwab. So yeah, there seems to be a lot of discrepancy. And there seems to be a lot of brokers having some issues potentially getting those symbols shown. I'm trying to see if I can place an order so that way I can see where those are at. But just waiting. All right. Looking at it here, not seeing anything coming through. All right.
Would be nice if the institution flooded the supply at 250. It would be amazing. Yeah, but I doubt that's going to happen.
The institution doesn't have anything to do with it, though. That's the thing is,
That's
this
true.
is the difference between the direct listing to what it is, or to an IPO. Institutions have nothing to do with being able to flood it. It's all the current shareholders that really, make this different. And they're the ones you're buying directly from the shareholders rather than the shareholders selling to a big institution and allow them to flood the markets with it. So that's the big difference. one of the craziest things I've read about this whole direct public offering compared to the initial public offering.
Thank you. With the taxes, is that ordinary should be capital gains and capital losses if you took a loss. But again, you'll want to check with a tax professional. I know that there's a lot of tax professionals that are getting into the crypto space now. Where can you buy? You should be able to buy it on any broker in now. Actually, you should be able to put in your limit orders.
Yeah, anybody should be able to put in a limit order. Whether it gets filled, that's a whole nother topic there.
Yes. And we will actually be taking a look and see if we get it coming through on the software here.
That's what I'm keeping an eye on as well. Should be any second now.
Right.
Unless, once again, unless they have hiccups, unless they haven't come to that equilibrium,
Mm-hmm.
That could be the issue. If they haven't come to an equilibrium, the shareholders may not have sold any of their shares yet. Therefore, we wouldn't have, an actual price to be had yet because the buyers are still, over here. The sellers are still over here. They haven't met in the middle yet. So we could see this take a little bit longer before it actually comes out and hits the markets.
Right. Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see. I just got an update. Coinbase stock indicates opening around 350, 40% above that 250 reference price.
Yep.
So people right now, this is emotion. And this is one thing that VectorVest tries to teach our subscribers, teach our users time and time again. Emotions can absolutely obliterate one's portfolio. And the fact that we're seeing it go from 250 to 350 is FOMO right now. So be careful about that right out of the gate. That's one thing, if anybody is watching right now, you guys got to be extremely careful with. There does seem to be a lot of FOMO, and that will help drive the price higher right out of the gate. So please be careful with that. As a retail investor, don't let your emotions take the best or get the most out of your portfolio.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that that's one of the big things too, with a lot of people when they get into crypto, because it's such a volatile market, that it really hits you with emotion, like a 20% correction, and everybody just loses it, and just either like a 20% increase or a 20% correction, and it will just destroy your overall portfolio.
Yeah. So if you're going to be buying it right out of the gate, expect to be holding it for a while, unless you're going to be trying to day trade it.
Right.
But if you're trying to buy it for a short-term trade, you're not worried about the pennies that you're going to be possibly missing out on. So if you're going to be taking it as a swing trade, as a momentum trade, be patient. Wait for your prime entries based upon whatever indicators you use. That's by far the best guidance that anybody could give on this. Is, nobody knows what it's going to do. This is completely speculative on what it's going to do once it releases.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. Have a plan set in place and trade your plan. Don't try to just jump into it just because you see it taking off. The charting is going to be, technical analysis, especially on opening day, is going to be one of the biggest benefits you can use as an individual trader there.
Yep. The man of the hour asks, how does coin help Bitcoin other than exposure? I think that is the big thing, is exposure, and being able to get more eyes on the tools in order to buy Bitcoin. Because I mean, anytime you tell somebody, oh, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, they ask, where do I buy it, right? And that's the big thing, is everybody thinks that buying cryptocurrency is this astronomical feat, because for a long time it really was. But Coinbase going public is going to bring a lot of eyes and ease into buying, selling, trading cryptocurrencies.
Um, Kong was asking why coin hasn't opened yet in Schwab. Um, Nobody knows exactly why unless you're somebody on the inside, but most likely the speculation is that they just haven't come to an agreement. The buyers are putting their bids at one price, the sellers are putting their bids or their ask at another price, and they're slowly working their way down until they find that middle territory, essentially, or middle ground. Essentially, it's like a bargaining, or it's bargaining going on at like a flea market.
Yeah.
um and so we got to be patient, and once they finally meet that, then I think we'll see it, hit the market itself. But it's probably just a little dance that they're doing between the buyers and the sellers, trying to find that middle ground, bargaining with it. um
So
so that way
Joey
they can.
says 340 is showing up on E-Trade now for the bid ask first numbers.
Let me see. Not
So
seeing that with Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade so far.
okay, so we're saying looks like open will be around 3 p.m. Eastern. So it looks like they are going to delay it until 3 p.m. Eastern.
So it looks like they're way off between the bids and asks. That's what that tells me. From somebody who's been trading for many, many, many years now, that tells me that there's something going on in the background, and the buyers and sellers are way too far apart to be able to find middle ground right now. That's what.
That's kind of crazy, considering that, I mean, we see people talking about like limit orders of like 350, 400.
Well, so there could be, they came out with an expectation of 250 yesterday,
Yeah.
and the sellers, the people who own the shares, the stakeholders already know that most recent earnings report. So they may be saying, they may be putting an extremely high price on what they think their shares are worth right now.
Okay.
And with that 250 coming out yesterday, there could be a huge discrepancy between the two.
Right, right.
Um, so yeah, it may take a while to settle all this out, and and get it going, or figure out where that middle ground's going to be.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Let's see. Working with us until 3 p.m. today. Jay, that is something I cannot do. I have got lots of other things to get to today.
Yeah, same.
To be able to sit here till 3 o'clock.
Yeah, no, for sure. We do have to jump out of here shortly. We were only going to go till 10, but we did decide to extend it for you guys. But even if we don't cover the open, I will be covering this. I will have a video out tomorrow covering the first day of trading, and tomorrow for sure, and how it has impacted, other things. Because like I said earlier, I'm seeing, a bit of a correction here in a lot of the crypto space. There's quite a few things that are down a little bit on the 24 hour. Bitcoin back down below 64, did dip a little bit below 63k. I just dipped, yeah, it just dipped back down to back down under 63. So yeah, we're definitely seeing a little bit of a correction here in the crypto market space. We're down 0.02 trillion. So
Also, I saw Dave ask a question: can this kind of thing happen with an IPO? And the answer is yes. I keep going back to the Facebook example because there's a lot of hype around that one, just like there's a lot of hype around this one. So they're, you know, pretty similar in that sense. And yeah, regardless of whether it's a DPO or an IPO, this kind of thing can happen. Usually with IPOs, though, what happens that causes it to delay is the institutions that hold all those shares have some hiccup on getting the price out, and then they're not able to match the price, or that takes a while to get those shares onto the market. So yeah, this can still happen on an IPO. This is pretty typical for new releases. So we'll just have to be patient. And Jason, if you want, if this starts trading at 3 o'clock, or if there's more news coming out that says it's going to be at 3 o'clock, or
Yeah.
confirmation at 3, if you want to send me a message and do a last minute get together, we can go live again to
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
that first
for sure.
15-30 minutes of trading. Let me know.
Yeah, definitely will. But with that, guys, we are gonna probably wrap this up. Me and Patrick do have some other stuff we have to get to. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cover it, but it does look like if we do see some trading at 3 o'clock, we will potentially sync back up and get back on here. But I do want to thank everybody for coming out. How many people do we have on? We have 1,300 people. Definitely appreciate everybody for coming out. VV Nation representing today, for sure. If you are new here, like I said, make sure you guys do subscribe, hit the bell notification, because I will be covering this. I'm going to be covering a lot of other stuff in the crypto adjacent space. Like I said, Patrick covers a lot of GME and stuff along those lines. But yeah, we are looking at about 3 p.m. EST. So definitely make sure you guys stick around. And yeah, thank you, Patrick, for coming out. And yeah.
So yeah, guys, also turn on that notification or hit that bell icon as well if you're already subscribed. So that way, if we do start trading at 3, you guys get the notification and you guys can jump back in and watch the opening with us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So again, thanks everybody for coming out. I'm Jason, your VectorVest crypto connoisseur.
I'm Patrick, your mobile man here at VectorVest and your speculative aggressive trader as well.
Yep. And we'll catch you guys later.